I bet if you were around in the 60s or 70s, you have an old stick barrette hairpiece lying around somewhere, especially if you're a woman, that you've had since then. And so this is one thing I miss a lot. Um, Not having craft shows is to hear the stories about people and how many times I hear the same story. Let me introduce myself first. If you don't know who I am, I'm Jan Hibbard, and I make handmade leather goods at Log Cabin Leather by Jan. I started in the 70s, and so the stick hair pieces are some of the, original things I made. I did always make mine with design, so now this is more of a vintage one. I mean, more contemporary one, I guess I would say, a feather shape. Today, I'm going to talk about how to put them in. Many people at the craft shows have come up and said, I bet I still have my original one from the 60s and 70s, but they forget how to put it in. Of course, a lot of people, their hair may not be long enough anymore, but most people say they still hung on to it. Maybe not as in pretty shapes as I have. I have butterfly and feather shapes and more, a little bit more intricate shapes than a lot of people do, or certainly than they did in the 70s. But a lot of people have these and still don't remember how to use them. Younger people don't know how to use them to begin with because they're not something they've seen a lot. But they are coming back, and I do sell a large variety of them. So today I'm going to talk about how to put them in, which is why I'm wearing my hair absolutely down, which is the first time I've ever done that on camera. I have very, very fine hair. I mean, yes, thick hair, which people like about these, they can hold a ton of hair, but they can also hold very fine hair. So I can't obviously show you on somebody's thick hair because I don't have it, but I do make them in different sizes. Now this, again, if you look at the size, the space in there is what I'm talking about, that arch. Some of these are much, much larger than others, can hold a lot more hair. So for somebody who has thicker hair, I do have different sizes. So to put them in, the first clue that I always tell people is don't pull the stick all the way out. Because if you're trying to do it by yourself and look behind your head and so forth, it's hard to figure out where the holes are necessarily. Just pull the one side out. So whichever way you want the bar, it to go in your hair. I'm right-handed, so I'm holding the stick in my right hand. So I'm pulling out the pointy end. But obviously, if I wanted, depending on how I wanted to hang on my head, I'm not, being too fussy about that right now. So most people use it to put their hair in a bun. So if you're trying to do the bun, you need to take your hair and you need to twist it around into a bun. You need to do it tight is the clue. So I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to do it super tight. And this is what the problem is with a lot of people. And I don't have a ton of hair either. I mean, it's fine, so it's not thick. I mean, actually, that's not too bad, but it's a little loose. If you want it to stay in, you want to twist it tight. And that's all I'm doing, But you've got to twist it tight. In my case, I'm trying to bunch it up to make it kind of thicker there. Get it through as close to your head as you can. And see, now all I have to do is navigate to find the last hole instead of finding both holes. And see, now that is tighter on my head. If that still doesn't work for you, again, that isn't my best. It's hard to see because I can't see I can't really see when you're doing it anyways. But actually, that's not bad. Of course, the way to make it even better on your head, I'll try a different one this time, is to put an elastic in. So that's sometimes, in all honesty with me, a lot of times, especially if I wanted to stay in for the day because my hair is so fine, I'm going to use an elastic. So you're going to have to excuse me for a minute to try to put my hair up in a ponytail. This is something I've never done on camera before. So now with the elastic in it, I can stick the hair piece, you know, underneath the elastic to hold it in. So even by right's one of these big ones. So now in this case, I could use it just as a pony, you know, more as a decorative thing. I'm not, you know, holding my hair with it, but it's more as a decorative thing. But still, if I wanted to put my hair up, again, same thing. Now we don't probably have to twist it as hard because it's gonna, the elastic is gonna help hold it in of that hair. And again, see, now that's really tight on my hair. That would stay in all day. So depending on the type of hair you have, like I said, some will hold. If you have really thick hair and you're planning on a bun, you might, you know, you probably want a bigger one. You know, depending on how you want to wear it. A bigger one can work to just do the ponytail. So, you know, those are different options. I also have the clip type hair piece. So I have the metal clips as well. So I'm just going to share a couple secrets about those. Now, these are great, obviously, for people who have less hair, shorter hair, children, things like that, in the smaller sizes. So I have 2, 3, and 4-inch clips. If you want the clip to hold more hair than what it will hold. Now, see, again, with a clip with me, typically, I have part of my hair, at least in a ponytail, and then, you know, I stick it through the clip so it's not going to fall out, things like that. If you're trying to put all your hair up or something like this and your hair is too thick for it to go through what you want to, this middle piece on any of these barrettes can be pulled out. The center arch here. If you pull that out, then the barrette will hold a whole lot more hair. And all you have to do is bend it a little bit. And it will come out. And now that will hold, you know, a whole lot more hair than it would. That's what the same says, you know. The clip makes a circle in here, so, you know, but that gives you some more space in there, so it will hold more hair. So that's just an easy, and all it does is slide back in here. It's not difficult to do. And it just attaches back in there. And then, yeah, so that's the way to do those. These are all available on my website, things like that, if you're interested in them. logcabinleatherbyjan.com, logcabinleatherbyjan.net. I think most of these are on the .com website. So that's to answer some questions about how to put in the hair pieces and so forth, and the stick ones, whether they're a vintage style and you're using an old one, whether you're interested in a new one in bright and beautiful colors and things like that to match your wardrobe or whatever. Again, I have all different sizes, shapes, colors. I have butterflies, I have feathers, I have just, you know, geometric shapes that I've made that have stamp designs on it. So I have a large variety of these. But again, I hope that answered your questions on how to use them, whether you have a vintage one you're still planning on using or you want a new one. That's going to wrap it up for now. Once again, this is Jan Hibbard, Log Cabin Leather by Jan. Thank you very much. Have a great